Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome to my The Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 12 recap/review video. Better late than never. Of course, we're going to go ahead and hop right on into it. Before we do, though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars-related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from dorksideoftheforce.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As I had mentioned, better late than never. My guilty confession for being a Star Wars creator and a Star Wars fan is that I am a couple of episodes behind on The Bad Batch, or was. I'm all completely up to date on the newest episode of The Bad Batch's Season 3, its third and its final season. Anyway, episode 12. Taking a step back here, that episode was titled Juggernaut. The latest episode of The Bad Batch Season 3, Point of No Return, really lived up to its name, with Omega volunteering to be taken by the Empire to spare Pabu, and the rest of the batch having no leads on where to find her exactly. And so, this most recent episode, episode 12, had really been primed to be quite an exciting one from the get-go. Thinking back and remembering that this episode had opened with pretty ominous music from the get-go as Omega arrives back on Mount Tantus, where she first started and had begun this season, where Dr. Royce Hemlock is waiting for her there as well. He brings her to the Dr. Emery Carr, demanding Omega to be tested immediately to confirm that their suspicions about her blood being the key to Project Necromancer is what they're going to need, and so they go on to confirm that. He leaves the two alone. Omega tries to talk to Emery out of it, but Emery isn't quite ready for that kind of rebellion yet. But starting the tests from there, I think that Emery Carr, a lot of you guys have your own theories and speculations out there about this character, what they've been doing with Emery Carr's character for the last couple of episodes of The Bad Batch, is humanizing her character for one thing, that she's not just a normal, regular clone mindlessly doing these kind of things, but she does have her own kind of questionings about the Empire and what they're doing based off their tactics, essentially. And as I have also kind of mentioned in and out of many of my Bad Batch Season 3 videos here on the channel, I think that Emery Carr is going to be the one to sacrifice herself by the end of the third and final season of The Bad Batch. I'm definitely not hoping for that to be the case, but I have a weird feeling it's going to be the case, and that's going to be a really big flaming point for the really beginning of a clone rebellion. We hop over to Pabu in this episode where there is still a big Star Destroyer hanging out over the island. However, the baddies are, thankfully, now leaving. Hunter and Batcher make it to Crosshair and Wrecker, who has mostly recovered from his injuries from the previous episode. They don't have a ship and no other leads to finding Omega. Or do they? Crosshair brings up one person as a last end-of-the-line resort who might, big emphasis on that might, know where Mount Tantus exactly is. Remember Admiral Rampart from the first two seasons of the Bad Batch show, serving as one of the main protagonists, or antagonists much rather, of the first two seasons of the show, the Big Bad. He had sent an LSA to Tantus, so he might know how to get there. It's not like that they can trust Rampart, though, however, after he blew up the clones' home on Camino, and, well, all of the other terrible things, trying to frame them for that as well, getting their rights taken away in the Senate on the political sides of things from Season 2. In his reign of power, he's done a lot of things to go against the clones at the end of the day, until he seemingly had meant his demise or his arrest in Season 2 of The Bad Batch. We kind of forgot about him, and well, here he is, now back, as we do see him in the rest of this episode, as well as the next one, and probably the next one as well, and so forth and so on, of course, probably for the remainder of the season. They're quickly interrupted while discussing this plan of trying to bring Rampart back by the arrival of AZ and Fee. As she's the only one with a working ship at the moment, she joins their mission. They're off to an Imperial laborer camp on the planet Erebus. Jumping straight to this planet, there is Rampart with a new beard and a shaggy look, working with an Ugnaught species. He's having a horrible time, which makes us happy. Rampart's a bad person. Let him suffer from all of his different other actions that he's gone through in those first two seasons. But nonetheless, he seems changed. He just seems more goofier and more redeeming, I think, throughout the rest of this episode. Briefing the mission as they arrive, Fee got a map of the labor camp on Airbus and can sneak the batch in. After that, they're kind of on their own though. It's time for them to move out. Fee daringly slides her ship in with the engines off, scaring the heck out of the batch in the process, of course, and they arrive on the planet. She drops off the batch and they slip into the first checkpoint, into the shadows. Just so also happens that Rampart has finished his shift now and is about to be transported back to the prison from the mine. Hunter wants to grab him from the tank, which makes Wrecker very excited, of course. They hop onto the tank as it rolls by, taking out the driver, also very carefully, as well as the rest of the stormtroopers that are in their way. Rampart is surprised to see Crosshair. He remembers him, and they snark at each other. However, there are plenty of other prisoners on the ship too, so they pull over and let all those prisoners out except for Rampart, taking him as a new prisoner, I guess, making him no longer a prisoner of the Empire, but a prisoner of the batch. As Rampart's suspicions begin, he figures out that they're going to need him for something. He agrees that if they get him off of that planet and away from that labor camp, then he'll tell them, or at least help them, to where Tantus is. Meanwhile, the Imperials have figured out that the batch has taken this tank under control. They send out their troops to intercept it. It's a tank versus a tank fight on this bridge, and it's pretty awesome. The batch get past in the tank and it speeds out into the wilderness. In the process, Crosshair stuns Rampart to shut him up, or at least it seems from that Rampart might have been trying to assassinate and maybe pick off some of the other clones of the Bad Batch, of course, raising some of those concerns as of if he is really trustworthy at the end of the day. But as I had mentioned, Rampart seems a bit changed. The Empire from there swoops in airships. With comms jammed, they don't have a way to call Fee in for backup. That is until, wait for it. Stormtroopers drop onto the ship and take out their cannons and other controls, but thankfully from there, as I had mentioned, wait for it, Fee zooms in and picks them up just in time. And with that, they get the heck out of there. In the final moments of the episode, they wake up Rampart, and of course, he's not of a simple answer to find Tantus of, yes, I know exactly where it is. It's more or less a, I think I know where it is, I can maybe help you guys there. No one person, as he explains, knows the exact coordinates of Tantus, maybe besides higher up powers like Tarkin or maybe Palpatine himself. He says that he might know how to get around that though, however, and help them there. As long as the batch needs him, they're all in this together. And well, Rampart doesn't have anywhere else to necessarily go either, so he's kind of all in for it. And so, we cut back to Tantus, where Emery has finished testing Omega's blood. It's what the Empire is looking for, of course. Hemlock takes Omega down to the vault to join this other Force-sensitive user kids. This is where the episode comes to a thrilling conclusion. What an episode at the end of the day. Thinking back on it, it was very action-packed, full of those surprises. I would have never thought that they would try to recruit Rampart out of all characters. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, I totally forgot about him ever even existing, to be honest with you guys. So to see him back and maybe even trying to do some good, it's pretty exciting and pretty awesome. And those stakes are up there. They're quite high. I'm very excited to see what the next couple of episodes have to offer as the Bad Batch Season 3, its third and final season, begins to come to a close. This all being said, guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.